We are live, we are live, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Right here on the Ramonepreston Show. We live. We live, we live. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. If you're coming on, joining me live, please do me a quick favor. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. And tag Lolly, Dolly, everybody and let them know your boy, Ramonepreston, my squad. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining me live, please do me a quick favor. Hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know that we're live. And put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from today. Please let me know what city you're watching me from today. If you're joining me live, please put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from. Appreciate all of you for joining the Ramonepreston Show today. Today is a beautiful day. Even though it looks like we're getting a little rain outside, it's still a beautiful day. I've got some very, very important information that I want to share with you today. So please put in the comments what city you're watching me from. Who you representing today, baby? I want to know, I want to know, I want to know. I'm looking for my world-class background that don't want to come up. Stop playing with me now. All right, you don't want me to be great today, huh? My digital whiteboard don't want me to be great today. So we're going to see if it's going to let me. Are you going to let me be great today? Let me be great today by working with your boy. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. If you're coming on, joining me live, thank you for joining the show today. I'm going to be talking to you about 3 keys to cracking a milli. All y'all that want to be successful, all y'all that want to be great, all y'all that want to get the bag, all y'all want to be millionaires. I'm going to give you 3 keys to cracking that $1 million threshold, from crossing that milestone. But I need you to put in the comments what city you're watching me from. If you're joining me live on the Ramonepreston Show, thank all of you. For those of you that have been responding to our offer, we still extended an offer for a whole nother week. We extended an offer for you to get the replay of our holding company workshop that we just hosted. And also, we're giving you access to our holding company workbook. We're giving you access to our holding company course and startup kit for those of you that are looking to build businesses. And we're still extending that offer to you. So thank all of you for continuing to reach out to us, texting replay to 678-276-8253. But today on the Ramonepreston Show, I want to talk to you about the 3 keys to cracking $1 million. I don't know. Maybe you don't want to be a millionaire. Maybe you just feel like becoming a millionaire is something that you may have dreamed about doing at some point in your life, but you probably gave up. Or maybe you want to be greater than just a millionaire. Maybe you want to be a billionaire. I don't know. But I know one thing. It doesn't matter if you want to make 100 grand a year, if you want to make $1 million a year or $10 million a year. These 3 keys that I'm about to share with you today are keys that you're going to have to use if you're going to do anything substantial financially, okay? So again, I want to say welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. For those of you that don't know, my name is Ramonepreston. I'm the host of the Ramonepreston Show every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. Even when I'm a few minutes late because I'm ripping and running around the city, I show up here live on this show in the middle of a busy workday to give you the game, to share information with you that I know if you use it, you can be successful. If you use it, you can have a successful business. If you use it, you're going to make way more money than what you're making, because everything that I share with you on this show is an extension of the life that I live and what I have built myself over the last 20 years. And it's what I give to my students and my clients on a day-to-day basis. I have students who are training and educating themselves on Ramonepreston University, our online educational platform. I have clients that are either being coached by me in my Millionaire Mentorship program, or we consult them, whether they're entrepreneurs in business or real estate investors. We do both, and we've done it for over 20 years now. And I'm so extremely proud of what we've been able to create. So I want you to know that you're in good hands for the next few minutes as I give you the game on 3 keys. That's what we're going to be talking about today. 3 keys to cracking a milli. 3 keys to cracking a milli. What are these 3 keys? And can I use these 3 keys to actually become a millionaire? Can I use these 3 keys to make $1 million? Can I use these 3 keys to stack that bag and become financially free? I did it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably gonna be one of the hardest things that you do. Like, there is nothing in life that you wanna do that's great, that has substantial value, that's gonna make an extraordinary impact. It ain't nothing you gonna do that's gonna be easy. This is one of the reasons why when you look at people from a statistical perspective, just in the United States of America alone, 99% of households in the United States of America don't make more than $300,000 a year. Only 1% of households in America make at least 400 grand a year. So that means if you make $400,000 a year in the United States of America, you are a part of the 1%. 99% of households in America don't make over 400 grand, and most of the people in that 99% don't even make 60 or 70 grand. Very few people out of the 99% make more than $100,000 a year. So really, the keys that I'm going to share with you today on cracking a million is for you to realize that if you put yourself in the position you're supposed to be in, and you take what I'm about to share with you and you apply it to your life, and you are consistent with it for at least a long period of time, at some point, you will crack a milli. As a matter of fact, if you ever do the math, even if you make like $25,000 a year. Let's just say hypothetically you make $25,000 a year, which is not a lot of money, but you know, some people can use 25 grand a year. So let's just say hypothetically you make 25 grand a year. So that means within a 10-year window, you will make 250. So within 40 years, you would have made $1 million. The problem is if you work 40 years at $25,000 a year, in 40 years, inflation, life, trauma, tragedy, problems, it all sucks the life out of you. So you really never make $1 million and you never really become a millionaire. So I want to share with you 3 keys to cracking a million. 3 keys to cracking a million. And if you're taking notes, I want you to write these 3 keys down, because I already know a lot of people, a lot of people are gonna violate the first key, okay? A lot of people are gonna violate the first key. So I'm gonna give you all 3 keys, right? And then I'll talk about each of the 3 keys. So today we're talking about 3 keys. Let's go, baby. Give me some marker. 3 keys to literally cracking. We want to crack, to cracking a milli. 3 keys to cracking $1 million. How can you put yourself in a position to become a millionaire, to make $1 million, to generate $1 million of revenue or of income in your life? I'm gonna give you these 3 keys. And guess what? When I share these with you, I promise you, most people violate these 3 keys, which is why most people never make any substantial amount of money. All right? There's a reason why only 1% of households in America make $400,000 or more a year. All right? The other 99%, They don't make $400,000 a year. Most of them don't even make $60,000 or $70,000 a year. We want to change that dynamic. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write these 3 keys down, okay? Key number 1, we're going to call it the the double M's. This is the first key to cracking $1 million. The first key to cracking $1 million is the MM. You have to have the millionaire's mindset. I told you most people violate this one key. Most people violate this first key because most people do not have a millionaire's mindset. Most people don't even know how to obtain a millionaire's mindset. And trust me, if you're not learning about money, if you're not learning how to make money, how to manage money, how to multiply money, if you ain't learning about the principles and the concepts that millionaires and billionaires live by, if you're not feeding off of different information, you will never have the millionaire's mindset. The MM is the millionaire's mindset. And I promise you, when you start taking inventory of your life, when you start looking at where you are as a person, right? Where are you as a person? And you start looking at where you are in your life. If you take inventory and if you would be honest with yourself, most likely you're going to have to come to the conclusion that when it comes to making $1 million, when it comes to cracking $1 million, when it comes to becoming a millionaire, when it comes to getting to that level of financial freedom, you probably don't know enough. And maybe you're not at a place in your life where you can admit that. But I'm going to tell you now, I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years full time. And it wasn't until around 2017, we're talking about from 2003 to 2017. So that means I was an entrepreneur for 14 years before I came to this realization. So from 2003 to 2017, for the first 14 years of my 20-year tenure as an entrepreneur, I reached a point after 14 years that I was making 6 figures a year. I was generating over 6 figures a year, but I couldn't break the barrier. I couldn't get past that barrier. Every year it would go up. Some years it would be 100 grand. Some years 98 grand. Other years 120. The most I might have went up back then may have been like one year I might have done 150 or 180 at the most. I could never crack beyond like 6 figures or maybe right there shy of 200 grand a year. And I realized that one of the main reasons why I could not break away from just earning 6 figures was because I didn't have this first key. I did not have the millionaire's mindset. And the reason why I did not have the millionaire's mindset, because I was not learning what millionaires were learning. I was not understanding wealth. I did not understand business from a wealth perspective. I didn't understand investing. I didn't understand all the dynamics of making money, managing money. I didn't have a solid long-term financial plan. But all of these things that I didn't have was because of things that I didn't know. And because I didn't know them, I didn't have them, I could never execute on them. So a lot of you are kind of spinning your wheels right now financially, and you like, man, I just keep spinning my wheels. I can't get past 50 grand. I can't get past 5 grand a month or 10 grand a month. I'm telling you, one of the reasons why is because you do not have the millionaire's mindset. And the way you obtain the millionaire's mindset is, number one, you need to get around millionaires. That's number one. How do you obtain the millionaire's mindset? How do you use this key of obtaining the millionaire's mindset? Number one, you got to get around millionaires. Now, here's what's going to happen. If you think you're going to just DM or inbox or send an email or make a phone call or show up to an event where millionaires are, and somehow they're going to just exchange numbers with you and build this amazing relationship with you, guess what? You're going to be very disappointed, because people who are already millionaires, people who are already financially successful, they probably don't want to build relationships with people who ain't on their level or beyond. You know why they don't want to do that? Because they have millionaire mindsets. Their mindsets don't allow them to mingle and coexist with people who are not willing to become millionaires first in their minds. And so this is why I always say this: the difference between where you are financially and where you want to be, whether it's $1 million, whether it's 10 million or 100 million, the difference between where you are and where you want to be financially is your level of commitment to becoming the person you need to be to actually get there. And becoming the person you need to be means that you have to adopt and develop and obtain a different mindset. I used to hear people say this. Even before I came to that realization in 2017, I used to hear people say, you have to become a different person. You have to evolve as a person. You have to be a different you. But I really didn't understand what they were meaning until around 2017, when I had this epiphany. And it was as if God was saying to me, the reason why you are not a millionaire, bruh, is because you don't know enough. You have not obtained the mindset of a millionaire. You do not educate yourself like millionaires educate themselves. You do not study like millionaires study. You do not train like millionaires train. You are not in the right rooms like millionaires are in the right room. And then when I started assessing my life, we're talking about like 6 years ago, when I started assessing my life after 14 years of being an entrepreneur, I had to first give up being a six-figure earner. Do you understand what I'm saying? So getting the millionaire's mindset, this same thing that I'm talking about is a key to cracking $1 million. Getting this millionaire's mindset is really giving up whatever current mindset that you have. So remember, 6 years ago, I was a six-figure earner, solid six-figure earner. I mean, I was making at least anywhere from $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. This is 6 years ago. Easy. But here's the problem. I couldn't break away from that. First of all, because I didn't have a millionaire mindset. I had no millionaire friends. I was not in rooms regularly where there were millionaires. I was not being mentored or coached by a millionaire. Like when I looked at my life 6 years ago, just from a financial perspective, there was no reason why I should have been a millionaire, because I didn't have anything that could feed my millionaire mentality. So I had a middle class mentality. I had a six-figure earner mentality. And everybody that I was around, literally, when God started dealing with me about this 6 years ago, I looked at my life. I remember sitting down with my wife. I looked at my life, and I was like, wow, who am I hanging around? Like, who are the people that I'm around most of the time? Who am I learning from? Who am I being coached and educated by? What rooms am I going in on a regular basis? Like, how do I think? And who thinks like that around me? And when I started assessing my life, I realized one of the biggest reasons why I was not yet a millionaire after 14 years at that point, being a full-time entrepreneur, it was because I was around the wrong people. It's not that they were bad people. They were not people who could push me into a different mindset. I wasn't educating myself every day about becoming a millionaire, not in my bank account, but in my mind. I wasn't thinking like a millionaire. I wasn't doing business like a millionaire. I wasn't investing in myself as a millionaire. I wasn't operating. There was nothing I was doing that made someone believe I was a millionaire 6 years ago. And guess what I had to do? I had to flip that switch. And I had to give up a lot. I relocated from the south side of Atlanta. I moved to Buckhead, where some people, when they found out I was moving initially, I've heard them say, oh, it's too high in Buckhead. Everything expensive. You could get a house on the south side of Atlanta three times less than in Buckhead. As a matter of fact, where I was living at the time, it was probably 4 times bigger than where I moved. I moved out of a house that was 4,000 square feet, moved into a condo that might have been 700 or 800 square feet. It was like 3 to 4 times smaller, and was paying more in the condo in Buckhead than I was for a house on the south side of Atlanta. But I had to give that up. My wife and I, we had 2 luxury vehicles. I had to sacrifice one. I had a freestanding building. I had to sacrifice. I had to give up everything that was imprisoning me and keeping me from adopting and obtaining a millionaire's mindset. Because I was a 6-figure earner and I was comfortable making sense of 6 figures a year. Some of you right now, one of the biggest reasons why you do not grow financially is because mentally you're making sense of where you are financially. You're tolerating where you are. You're stuck where you are. But what are you going to do different? And I promise you, if you're not getting different information that can force you to start thinking like a millionaire, most likely you're not going to become a millionaire. I had to make a decision. I can't listen to Dave Ramsey. I can't listen to Susie Orman. I can't listen to people who are thinking conservative when it comes to becoming financially free. It's not that what they're saying doesn't work. It ain't going to work for me because I don't have 25 years to wait to get to where I am. I had to adopt a different mentality. I hope those of you that are watching me and listening to me are understanding that if you gonna ever crack $1 million, outside of you thinking about, oh, I need a trust, oh, I need a holding company. Because when I talk to people, and that's all they talking about, trust, holding companies. Hey, I teach a lot of this stuff, but when the rubber meets the road, it doesn't matter if you got 10 trusts, 15 holding companies. It doesn't matter if you have 100 credit cards and 3 lines of credit and working capital. If you do not have a millionaire mindset, you will not become a millionaire. And if by luck you ever become a millionaire, you won't maintain it because your mentality has to be there. Your mentality. And the only way your mentality is going to be like that of a millionaire, the only way you're going to mentally become a millionaire, even before financially or in your bank you become a millionaire, you have to educate yourself. I've got courses right now in my Millionaire Blueprint, which is why it's called a Millionaire Blueprint. There are courses in there that teach you about creative tax strategies. There are courses that teach you about goal setting and scheduling and mental discipline. There are courses that teach you about the poor class, the middle class, and the upper class, and show you how to climb that income ladder of success mentally. All of this information, I tell this to my staff all the time, you need to be listening to this information on a day-to-day basis until all that information helps to create a new version of you. Until then, you're going to keep hitting $20,000 barriers. $60,000 barriers, $80,000 barriers. Some of you right now, you're stuck dealing with $5,000 to $10,000 problems, and you wonder why you never become a millionaire financially. Because mentally, you can't even handle a $10,000 problem. You can't even handle an $86,000 problem or a $150,000 problem. That means mentally, you have not brought your mind to a place to become a millionaire. Before you become a millionaire financially, you have to become a millionaire mentally. You have to become a millionaire mentally. And so that was one of the biggest game changers for me. So I had my aha moment 6 years ago in 2017. But once I had that aha moment, and it was like God was asking me the question, do you want to be wealthy? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to be a millionaire? And I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. Okay. It was as if he was saying to me or asking me, what are you willing to give up? So that's my question to you. My question to you today is, if you want to crack $1 million, you really want to be a millionaire, you believe you're supposed to be a millionaire, you know in your knower, deep down in your shanana, that God wants you to be financially free, at least at a level of $1 million. If you believe that and you know that and you're convinced about that, my question to you is, what are you willing to give up today? Are you willing to give up everything you know about money at this point? Because if what you know about money at this point doesn't have you at $1 million yet, that means you do not know enough. That means you do not know the right information. So if you're still struggling with certain financial problems, you have to start associating where you are with what you don't know, and probably with what you need to give up before you bring new information in. So I have people that are students on my Millionaire Blueprint. I have courses on financial literacy. I teach about accounting, balance sheets, mindset, all the stuff that I'm teaching you right now, creative tax strategies, creative cash flow strategies. I teach all this stuff about money, right? And there are people who tell me they want to be better off financially. They tell me, oh, I want to be the next millionaire. I want to be a blueprint millionaire, but they're not willing to get that new information because they're not letting the old information go. So when they hear me say something, in their minds, this is what they thinking. Oh, I already heard him say that. Oh, I already know what he's talking about. But if you heard me say it and you know what I'm talking about and it ain't manifested in your life, you really didn't hear me. You really don't know it. So I have a mentor that I learned from who's a billionaire, and everybody in his circle, they are millionaires and multimillionaires. And I listen to these people. I'm in the rooms with these people. So you got to be willing to give up something. So what was I willing to give up in order to obtain a millionaire's mindset? What was I willing to give up? Here is what I was willing to give up. I was willing to give up more of my time so that I can study more about money, so that I can learn to become more familiar with money. I was willing to give up some of my money to pay to be around billionaires and multimillionaires so I can be in the same room, even though I know it will cost me tens of thousands of dollars to be in these rooms and to have a seat in those rooms. I wanted to sit at the table and be in the room where these multimillionaires and billionaires were. I was willing to give up my money that I was holding on to. I was willing to give up tens of thousands of dollars to make hundreds of thousands. I was willing to give up my free time to come to events and to be in sessions where I train and I develop to become a better me. I was willing to grow as a person. I was willing to invest in myself and in my business. You got to be willing to give all this stuff up. Otherwise, you will never adopt and obtain the millionaire's mindset. That's the first key to cracking a milli. The first key. Anybody that you talk to that has made $1 million or who has become a millionaire by net worth or whatever or more, I promise most of them, if they're honest with you, will tell you that they had to become a different person mentally in order to obtain that money in real life. Most of them will tell you that. They had to grow, they had to stretch, they had to learn, they had to educate, they had to be willing to give up so much. They probably gave up time with their children, with their families, with their friends. They probably gave up, luxuries. And they just made becoming this next person a necessity. And that's the millionaire's mindset. Your mind has to be set. Another thing that you have to do when it comes to becoming a millionaire mentally is you've got to get better with your own money. You got to get better with your own money. But if you don't know what to do with your money, how are you going to get better with your money? That means you got to learn how to make money, but you got to learn how to manage the money you make. That's a big part of your mindset. So it's hard for somebody to tell me, Ramon, I'm a millionaire in my mind. I know I'm going to be a millionaire in real life. And they don't even track their personal income and expenses. They have no idea how much money they got coming in, how much money is going out, and how much money is left. They have no clue. They don't even know how to track their personal income and expenses. And if they have a business, they don't know how to track their business income expenses. You ain't got no millionaire's mentality. And you can use as an excuse, well, I know people who got successful businesses and they don't know nothing about accounting. They don't know nothing about finances. They ain't gone to school. Well, they probably had a good opportunity to make enough money to pay somebody to do it. But at some point, you got to know something. The people who know nothing and think everybody else who knows something is going to do it for them are the people that end up getting robbed, getting taken advantage of, or they find themselves broke again because they never paid attention to the money. If you're going to have a millionaire's mindset and you start giving away stuff, letting stuff go, start learning and educating and training and developing the discipline and the muscle when it comes to money, you got to get good at controlling your own money. All right? So that means practically, if you don't have a business, you should have some type of personal financial management tracking app. You need to be using some type of technology to help track where are you financially. Like if you can't go to an app like mint.com and pull up your information to see how much money you made this year, how much money you spent, you lost. You ain't gonna see a millionaire mentality. You ain't gonna have one. How? Because you don't know if you coming or going. And if you have a business, you should have some type of software like QuickBooks so that you can track your income and expenses. I say this all the time and people hear me and they don't understand how important just doing those basic things are to them becoming millionaires. How on God's green earth are you going to crack $1 million and you do not even know how much money you got coming in, how much is going out, and how much is left? Basic accounting. If you don't know that, you haven't learned anything about creative tax strategies. Even if you get it, you're not going to keep it. So I'm going to tell you, the first key to cracking $1 million is the the millionaire's mindset. And that takes a lot of work. Most people never get past this first key. Most people never get past this first key. I can't even tell you how many business owners, entrepreneurs, individuals I've coached, I've educated, I've consulted. I mean, in 20 years, you know how many people I have worked with one-on-one, in groups, in the church, outside of the church, in real estate, outside of, like, I've worked with so many people, and most people, unfortunately, they never get past this key. They never obtain the millionaire's mindset. I was just telling y'all a story about how I transitioned my life in 2017 after 14 years of being an entrepreneur. 6-figure earner, but I just started just like spinning my wheels. And I had an eye-opening moment like, man, you're supposed to be a millionaire. You're supposed to be wealthy. What's the problem? And I made a self-assessment. I accepted that I didn't know enough. I accepted that I was in the wrong rooms. I was around the wrong people. I accepted that I wasn't disciplined. Like once I accepted and acknowledged and took responsibility for all this stuff, my life changed. And I started sharing this same information that is now become, it's now become a whole university. Ramonepreston University started out with me just talking to people in conversations, telling them what I was doing and how I was doing it. And there are a lot of people today who were listening to me, but they never took it to heart. They never adopted the mentality. And they're still worse off now than they were then because guess what? They never got past the MM. So the first key to cracking a milli is you have to have the millionaire's mindset. I don't care what nobody else tell you. Because all that technical stuff, all that business stuff that I talk about and we all, just get excited about, it means nothing if you ain't got the mindset. I just had a conversation the other day with somebody. They got like 18 different businesses and they ain't doing nothing with their businesses. And then when I'm talking to them, I'm listening to how they thinking. And they're talking small, they're thinking negative, they don't see the bigger picture. I'm like, there's no way you gonna ever get anywhere thinking like that. You still talking the same way you talked 5 years ago. This is a mentality problem. This ain't no money problem. This is a mental problem. You are not growing as a person. You are not giving up how you think. You're not giving up this information that you've been living by your whole life that's keeping you broke. So the first key is you need the millionaire's mentality. What is the second key to cracking a milli? Here's the second key. You need, I don't care what nobody tells you. This is another key that a lot of people, they violate. You need an MVP. What is an MVP, Ramon? What do you think an MVP is? What do you think an MVP is? An MVP is called a minimum viable product. A minimum viable product. You need an MVP. You need a minimum viable product. Let me tell you something. The moment you get the millionaire's mentality, the moment you start educating yourself about money, the better your relationship with money becomes, the more you want to go make money. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're not motivated to make money, if you don't know how to make money, start educating yourself about money. Start building a different relationship with money, even if you ain't got money. It's kind of like somebody saying, I want to be married, but you ain't putting yourself in a position to be marriage material. You still around here talking about, I could do bad by myself. I don't need nobody. It's all about what I want to do. I'm going to do me. I'm going to be me. That mentality is going to keep you single when it comes to relationships. Well, it's the same with money. If you around here, you're not growing about money, you're not being responsible with the money you have, you're not disciplined, you ain't waking up every day studying and learning and educating yourself to better your relationship with money, you're never going to have motivation to go make more money. Where's the motivation going to come from? All you going to do with your messed up mentality is wake up and say, well, I got to go to this job. I got to go get these folks 8 hours of my time. I got to go slave for another business owner. I can't wait till I can fire my boss. And you start using all these lame excuses and cliches to justify your laziness. Until you develop the mentality of a millionaire, you ain't going to be thinking about going to make no more money. And then you start justifying why you're not making money. Well, it ain't all about money. Everything in life ain't about a dollar. I ain't going to be around here wasting my life chasing a dollar. Don't the Bible say money is the root of all evil? Now you're quoting scriptures. You get what I'm saying? It's crazy the way people's mentality is when it comes to money. But if you have the right mentality, I'm telling you, once you start learning about money, building a better relationship with money, becoming disciplined with the little money you got, and start understanding how money works, you're gonna get motivated to want more money. You're gonna have some inspiration. And I'm telling you, for all of you that just wanna, listen, I gotta tell y'all straight up, all of y'all out here that all you want to talk about is, oh, I need a trust. I need a line of credit, or I need to get funding for my business, or I need a holding company. I need another LLC. For all of you that talk about all that stuff, and you do not have an MVP, a minimum valuable product, what you're showing people like me is you do not have a millionaire's mentality. You're still thinking like you're middle class, if not po class. The second key to cracking $1 million, you got to have a product, an MVP, a minimum valuable product. You got to have something to sell. I am so amazed at how many entrepreneurs and business owners I talk to who don't even have a product to sell. Like, how are you going to ever become a millionaire and you ain't got nothing to sell? And you don't have to own the product, but you got to use it. You could be a network marketer. You could be an affiliate marketer. You could be a salesperson getting a commission, but you got to have some type of product or service that you can sell. Well, I'm still working on my product. Okay. Well, hopefully the world don't come to an end by the time you finally go to the marketplace, or by the time you go to the marketplace with your product and your service that you're working so hard to put together and get right. By the time you get out there, nobody wants it. You have to have some type of product and service to sell. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you own a business or not. If you work a regular job and you want to crack $1 million, most likely, unless they make you like the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you ain't gonna make $1 million working a job. It's just not gonna happen. Most business owners who even have successful businesses don't make $1 million as CEOs. I know people who are CEOs and their goal is not even to make $1 million, even though they want their businesses to make $1 million. But how are they even making money? Because they have some type of minimum valuable, it's a minimum valuable product, okay? Some type of valuable product. It has to be something that people can use. It either needs to be like a commodity or have some utility. It doesn't matter if it's a physical product or service, a digital product or service. It should be a little bit of all the above. But you got to have something to sell. And listen to me. If you learn from people like me who know what they're doing, your MVP, your minimum valuable product, should have the ability, please don't miss what I'm about to say, it should have the ability for automation and scale. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, whatever products and services that you do use or own, they should have the ability for automation. There should be some ability to automate and scale. So that means if you're going, like I've talked to people and sat down and coached and consulted them. And when they told me what kind of business that they wanted to start, when I looked at the business, I was like, okay, is this scalable? And then I asked them, okay, how much money do you want to make? Oh, I want to make $500,000 a year, or I just want to make at least $1 million a year. And then we start doing the math and I'm like, okay, well, if you're providing this service and you're charging $60 per service, you know how many services you have to do yourself in order to make $1 million? And then we start doing the math and they like, man, I can't do that many. I can't do 1,500 services a month. Okay, well, that means you have to figure out another way to introduce this product or service. That means you might have to have courses. That means you might have to have some digital version. That means you might have to have a team. Like, once you start understanding, that's why you got to have the mindset of a millionaire and do the math. When you're a millionaire in your mind, you probably already did the math. Then when you do the math, you figure out what business or what product and service you can use that has the ability to automate and to scale. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't put having a business up here, because a lot of people get so caught up on, man, I got my LLC. So what does that mean because you got an LLC? What does that mean because you got an EIN number? What does that mean? Because you got a Duns and Bradstreet, because you got a NAV account, because you got a Capital One Business Sparks credit card. None of that means anything. If you don't have a millionaire's mentality, learning, educating, growing, getting better with money, understanding accounting from a business perspective, if you don't have a product or a service that you can take to the marketplace that's automated and scalable, how are you going to get there? It ain't gonna happen. You can only cut so much grass. You can only paint so many houses. Now, of course, there are strategies that you can use, but again, if you're using these strategies, it's still going to have to be a result of you getting educated and getting trained on how to actually use them. Meaning that if you're in a business where you own these products and services and they're not scalable, now you have to create new products and services that are scalable or use other people's products and services, either through partnerships, acquisitions, or just through some type of affiliation. But at some point, you gotta have something to sell, all right? You gotta have something to sell. You cannot think you're gonna become a millionaire just because you got one landing page. Now, some people do it. There are people who are exceptions to the rule. They put a landing page together, they create like an Amazon store, they do some drop shipping, and boom, they become millionaires. But that's not everybody's case. Like 99% of small businesses don't experience what a few people experience when it comes to just explosive exponential growth. Most small business owners and entrepreneurs have to figure it out and scrap it out every day. But you got to have some minimum viable product and service, okay? If you don't agree with me, just put your disagreement in the comments. Let me know what you don't agree with me on. Because if you feel like I'm missing something, especially when it comes to owning a business, you're missing that your product may need to be in a business, but you still need a product. I just hate the fact that so many people I talk with, they have businesses, but they don't have minimum valuable products and services. They have nothing to sell. They don't even know how to package their products, how to price them, how to present them, which brings me to this is the third key to cracking a million. The third key is you have to have an M and S. I'm gonna just put M and S. I'm using like abbreviations today. I'm using like acronyms today. All right? So the third key to cracking a million is you have to have a M and S. You have to have a marketing and sales system and process. Like I keep telling everyone that I know that I teach and I coach, I keep telling all of them, like marketing and sales in today's world are like two of the top recession-proof skills that you have to have. I promise you, you have to have the ability to market and to sell. If you're an entrepreneur and you think you're gonna just hire somebody to do all your marketing and your sales, tell me how that works. And again, don't give me one or two people that you know who are exceptions to the rule. Most entrepreneurs do not build successful businesses. Most people do not become millionaires if they have no marketing and sales skills, period. It just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And now you might be saying, well, if I'm an online influencer or if I'm a YouTuber, that's kind of like marketing. It's still kind of like selling because you've taken your brand and your personality and you've packaged that into a product or a service that you're monetizing. You get what I'm saying? That's still a form of marketing. If you are an online influencer, some type of digital influencer, you're selling courses online or whatever that is, that's still marketing. It's still sales. And the better you get at this, whether you own a business or work for somebody else's business, like I know people who are millionaires that don't own businesses. I know people who are not business owners. They are employees with someone else's business and they are millionaires, multimillionaires. And let me tell you why they are multimillionaires right here. They have a mentality because they're working for a millionaire. They have products and services because the millionaire that they work for has products and services. And guess what? They know how to market and sell. Most of them come out of the sales department or are still in the sales department. So you can't get around this, ladies and gentlemen. So all of you that have a desire to become a millionaire, to crack that milli, I'm telling you from firsthand experience, 6 years ago, I was 14 years into being a full-time entrepreneur and I couldn't crack $250,000 a year. I just kept hitting the ceiling. 1 year I'm up, next year I'm down, next year so-so, next year down, up 20% down. And I reached a point in 2017, 6 years ago, after 14 years of full-time entrepreneurship, I reached a point that I was frustrated. I thought I was done. I was ready to tap out. And I had this epiphany. And in that epiphany, it was like God was saying, if you think you're supposed to be a millionaire, you have to do what millionaires are doing. First of all, you need to adopt that mentality. And that means you're going to have to give up everything you think you know about money, because everything you think you know, it's got you where you are. And even though you're not poor, even though you're not broke, even though you're not in poverty, but you're not in that 1% either. You're stuck in the middle class trying to be a professional, trying to be conservative because of your mindset, bruh. You got to let that go. You got to be willing to take some of the money that you're making and invest it in yourself. You got to get a coach. You got to get educated. You got to get in rooms where people are growing and expanding. You got to be willing to give up a lot of luxuries. And you literally got to just put your head in the dirt and say, I'm not coming up until I'm another person. And I did that in 2017. I relocated my business, my family, my life. I got rid of a whole lot of liabilities. I got all my credit card debt paid off. Like I'm where I am today because of the decision I made to adopt this mentality. And then I had to reinvent myself. After 14 years, I had to look at my business and see, do I have products and services that are scalable, that have the ability to automate? And I didn't. I didn't have an online university. I didn't have digital products and services. I didn't have a staff. Like, I had none of this stuff. And I was like, man, what have I been thinking? Well, I haven't been thinking because I didn't have the right information. I was still living off bad data, middle class information. And then I had to learn from my coach and my mentor how to become a better marketer, how to become a better salesperson. And to this day, 6 years later, after building a 7-figure organizational enterprise, after cracking $1 million within the last 6 years, really within the last 3 or 4, but 6 since I reset my life, right? And growing. My company is still growing. My staff is still growing. My reach is still growing. My products and services, everything is still growing, but it all started with these keys. And so for all of you that are listening to me and watching me, and you think you're so good at what you do and you feel like you got what it takes, trust me, your mentality is going to be put to the test in this economic climate. And if you're not connected to the right people, if you're not being held accountable, if you're not being coached, if you're not in a community, it's going to be extremely hard for you to figure this stuff out alone. At some point, you got to put yourself in a position to learn the things you need to learn. This is why I put my Millionaire program together. So for all of you that are watching virtual, inside of the description of this video, you'll see information about my Millionaire Mentorship program. I really would love to have an opportunity to speak to you about it because it's a 1-year coaching program. If you do not see it in the description, you can always go to Ramonepreston.com and take a look at the Millionaire Mentorship Program that we have. It's an amazing program. I'm pulling it up right here so you can see it, but it's an amazing program. It's a 1-year coaching and consulting program. If you've never had a business coach, if you've never had anyone to really educate you about starting and structuring and scaling a $1 million business, if you've never taken the time to give yourself maybe just 1 year to get coached and to get education and in a centralized way. I'm not talking about just browsing the internet all day, every day. At some point, you got to centralize your focus and say, you know what? I need to just hone in on somebody I can trust, somebody who's speaking my language, somebody who I can align with. And I just got to get everything I can from that person until I become the person I need to be. I've had to do it. Everybody has to do it. And so when I go into the rooms that I'm in now and I'm sitting amongst millionaires, we're all in the same room because we're all learning, we're all growing, we're all becoming better versions of ourselves, we're reinvesting in ourselves, and we're building successful businesses because we are like-minded. If you just scroll on any social media page today for 5 minutes straight, you will probably hear 100 different versions of information about the same topic. All you got to do is just Google or go to YouTube and search, or go to another social media page and search money or search millionaire, and all types of stuff is going to come up. But you have to be an adult enough to make a decision. Who am I going to align with? What information do I need to focus on? And what do I need to just dedicate myself to until I start gaining some momentum? That's what I had to do. And I would not be where I am today, building a 7-figure. At some point, it's going to be an 8-figure as long as I keep going, organizational enterprise. If I did not hone in and dial in on, I got to get my mindset right. I got to get my products and services right. I got to get my marketing and my sales right. And I got to build a real business and be a real successful person. So if you're interested in becoming a part of our Millionaire Mentorship Program, I would love to have an opportunity to take a whole year to work with you, okay? And so as I said, we have a mentorship program. It's 1 year. It's called the Millionaire Mentorship Program. You could go to Ramonepreston.com and you can see all the information that we have about our Millionaire Mentorship Program. We have 2 membership options. We have a gold option and we have a diamond option. Now let me explain to you how much this program costs, okay? This program, it starts at $147 a month. So literally you can join a 1-year coaching program, the gold membership, for $147 a month. Of course you could pay it all in one, or you could just pay monthly payments. One of the reasons why I like the monthly payment, because I want you to prove to you that you're getting something out of it. But what this membership in this 1-year coaching program includes is you get 1 year access to my Millionaire Blueprint. So my Millionaire Blueprint, I've literally put this online educational program together to teach you financial literacy, creative tax strategies, goal setting, entrepreneurship, business ownership, investing. There are hundreds of courses inside of this Millionaire Blueprint. It's literally a Millionaire Blueprint. Everything that I've done, not just in the last 20 years as an entrepreneur, of course, but just even within the last 6, since I transitioned out of the mentality of being a 6-figure earner, I'm like, man, I got to get out of the middle class. I don't want to be a 6-figure earner. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. Everything that I've learned to do what I do, I've packaged it in that Millionaire Blueprint. So my mentorship program, we give you 1 year access to the online program, the Millionaire Blueprint. We give you access for 1 year to our weekly coaching calls. So that means every week we host a live private coaching call. That gives you an opportunity to come live, to join me live every Monday. And we answer your questions. We deep dive into different subjects and topics because I want you to become a millionaire. I want to show you how to build a $1 million enterprise. We also give you access to our workshops. We host about 6 workshops a year. And every workshop is a part of your business building strategy. So that means we have courses in our Millionaire Blueprint, but then we have workshops in our mentorship program to correspond with and complement each course. So we have a one-day workshop on sales to complement our sales course, to teach you how to put a sales system together, a sales process, to put a script together. We have a marketing workshop to show you all the ins and outs of marketing that we teach and that we use for our company. We have a financial workshop. We have courses on finances. We teach you how to integrate your QuickBooks, how to configure your QuickBooks. We teach you creative tax strategies. We teach you the basic accounting practices as an entrepreneur. We have a holding company workshop. We actually just hosted one. We show you how to build your holding company, how to build your subsidiaries. We have courses inside of this Millionaire Blueprint that we teach you how to take your ideas and turn them into products and services. We also have a coaching boot camp. So if you have a interest in becoming an online coach, having online courses, becoming a influencer, we show you how to take the intellectual property of what you want to do and convert it into courses, content, coaching programs, consulting services. We show you how to build literally a 6-figure coaching business because I've done it. We also have a one-day training called the Business Incubator. We teach you how to measure your KPIs. How do you build a general operating system? That's why I said, if you're looking for a coaching program that is all-inclusive, that includes education, includes coaching sessions every week, includes workshops and in-person and virtual training, this Millionaire Mentorship program provides it all. And again, we have 2 options. We have a gold option for $147 a month, and we have a diamond option for $247. The only difference between the two is how many of those workshops do you get access to, because we give you those workshops as a member of that mentorship program. So you can go to Ramonepreston.com. It's definitely better for you to text the word mentor to 678. Here's the number here. You can text mentor to 678 right here, 276-8253. If you would like to ask a few more questions about our mentorship program, or maybe you just want to make sure that it's a perfect fit for what you want to do in your industry or what you're building, all you have to do is just text the word mentor to 678-276-8253, 678-276-8253. And what's going to happen is we're going to reach back out to you. We'll answer whatever questions you have, and we'll share more information with you about our mentorship program, our Millionaire Blueprint, what type of courses we have, what the workshops are, what the coaching sessions are every week, and how we can get you instant access and onboarded today. Trust me, at some point in your entrepreneurial journey, at some point in your financial freedom journey, you're going to have to get the right education, the right information. You got to get in the right rooms. You got to get around the right people. You got to have mentors and coaches. It's inevitable. It's the difference between you staying stuck and getting where you want to go. So just text the word mentor to 678-276-8253. I appreciate all of you for joining the show today. I hope you got some game. I hope you learned something from your boy today, okay? I hope you learned something. Whatever you learned, please leave it in the comments and let me know how much of an impact today's show made on the 3 keys to cracking a milli. All right, love y'all, appreciate y'all. Have an amazing day. We'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on the Ramon Preston Show. All right, peace. Appreciate all of you. All right, y'all have an amazing day. IG, we